I was betrayed, sold. But what does it matter? Death dances on the ruins of my life and stills the hunger. The Germans are honoring me with the most brutal special unit they have, the Direlwanger Brigade. They will annihilate the entire village, burn everything, including the villagers, just to avenge Cam. I must save whatever I can. There isn't much time.
You'll notice she said whatever, not whoever. After all, there must be some collectibles left in this village, right? We're in for a fight ahead. The Direlwanger Brigade is out in force, slaughtering the civilians of the village and generally wrecking up the joint. Despite apparently traveling from the hospital to the village, Violette has not bothered to put on any further clothes, but we've still got our STG-44 and a solid 2 clips of ammo. Hopefully that'll be enough.
Wer nicht kooperiert, muss eben sterben. Allerdings, wir hätten schon viel früher härter durchgreifen müssen. Dieses Drecksgesinde. Hast du eigentlich was Nettes abgreifen können? Ach, diese Bauern besitzen nur einen minderwertigen Plunder. Was gibt's hier schon zu holen? Jupp. Ich habe auch nur Dreck gefunden. Wie weit sind denn die Vorbereitungen für das Freudenfeuer? Der zweite Zug treibt gerade die Verbleibenden aus ihren Häusern und schleppt sie zur Kirche hoch. Na wunderbar, da sind wir bald fertig. Rein in den Ofen, Klappe zu und ab nach Hause. Das wird diesem Verräterpack eine Lehre sein. Da kannst du von ausgehen.
This cadre of Nazis is hard at work burning a pile of corpses, so our best bet is to make a new pile over here that isn't on fire. No matter where or how you killed this first soldier, it will alert the rest, but they won't pass by this crate, so we can hide around the corner until they start searching elsewhere. There we go. The silhouette is a solid purple again, so we're free to mosey on out and continue the slaughter. This particular section is, again, not designed for stealth kills at all. The courtyard is laced with exploding barrels and gasoline puddles, but a proper movie monster never shows themselves if they don't have to. We'll lure these jerks one by one into the corner and send them back to their maker. More than any other section of this game, the soldiers bug the hell out here and they can whip around when they stop, so it's equally important to be quick and cautious. When he goes back inside, we get a golden opportunity to spin around and get behind him. Three down, 3 to go. Looks like they've returned to their initial spots out of eyesight. If we move forward, we should have enough time to get back while whistling in a position to get this guard's back to us when he stops. Killing that guard re-alerted the other two, which is actually somewhat helpful. It pulls them back into view so that we can formulate a plan. Flamethrower soldier should be out of the way now, and we can lure the last regular guard into position. Well, unfortunately, he doesn't move far. Occasionally, they'll inch forward just enough to let Violette get the drop on them, but here he moves forward just enough for me to potentially get caught if I try. However, as soon as he moves into the same position as the previous soldier, we're golden. That leaves only the flamethrower soldier, and since there's no one to see us, we have a lot more freedom of movement now. We'll be able to whistle him over, and then stalk him back across the courtyard.
Right there.
This mission is made up of several areas filled to the brim with Nazis, so it's going to take a lot of fancy work to get through while maximizing efficiency. The path ahead is rarely clear due to the smoke and fires, but I know my way through this village pretty well at this point. While that Nazi attempts to fight fire with fire, we'll sneak up and get the drop on both of them.
Passiert doch sowieso nix.
This next section is very easy to pass by without even noticing that it exists, but it's the location of one of only 3 collectibles in the mission, along with one of my favorite types of truck, an inexplicably located one. It's very possible to get up to these two in time to catch one before they turn, but it's not easy to take them both down silently without one alerting. Instead, we'll wait for them to reposition and deal with them separately. Incredibly, the second guard didn't hear us brutally digging the first's organs out through his ribcage. The second those two are dead, a third spawns at the back of the truck and comes to investigate.
Hier liegt eine Leiche. Ist einer von uns geworden?
While he's trying not to get sick at what we've left for him, they've got time to dispatch him. That mess dealt with, we're rewarded with a sniper badge to cover the last few inches of space on Violette's nightgown that aren't either splattered with gore or festooned with other accessories. This next spot requires split-second timing. The further guard patrols quickly and stops for only 4 seconds at each end. It takes us 2 seconds to get up and around this wall, so after a quick 2 count, we'll whistle to get the closer guard to turn, and then use our brief window.
Wer ist da? Schau ich überhaupt noch nach?
Now we have precious little time, so we need to move into these shadows quickly. He'll occasionally do a 180-degree turn when he finishes his investigation, so we wait until he peers over the wall to go for him. And go for him Violette does, and considering the surroundings, I almost can't blame her for her exuberance. There's a guard that hangs out behind this building, and he almost always alerts at some point during this escapade. But when he calms down, we'll have a very narrow path that gives us a chance to get it. That clears this rise, and when we head down, we're in a situation similar to the start of the mission, but without the bonus of having a barrier that the Nazis refuse to cross.
The villagers. Somehow I had to help them.
That means we're going to have to be really careful and make sure to hide the bodies. Okay. Well, I guess that's pretty well hidden, but not at all what I intended. That's actually a little more suspicious than just a corpse. Hopefully they don't notice.
Bist du das?
Well, looks like we're golden, so as soon as he turns, we'll chalk up another kill.
Wieder nix.
Okay, this is just getting ridiculous now.
Hey, ist da jemand? Ach, verdammt! Was soll's?
Well, I'm not going to argue with the results. Looks like I've caught the attention of the fourth guard, but not enough to make him come at me. It saves me the trouble of whistling. Well, that's a problem. Looks like I'll have to whistle after all. Scheiße. That's alright. I should be able to make a run for the far shadows and catch the last guard unaware. The red border goes away, and I can slink forward and try my luck again. Seems he's still somewhat alerted, but doesn't know where to look for us. Since this is the last guard in the area that we can access, we're free to follow him until he's in a position that allows us to get rid of him. The largest problem in this courtyard is that there is a soldier providing cover fire from an upper story window. So no matter what you do, you are going to end up alerting him. Since we need to get through here, we'll take him down the only way we can. Last and least, we've got an officer to handle inside of this building, but he's a cinch compared to the rest. Now that he's dead, we can restock, reload, and heal up before we make our way forward in the mission.
I probably only need to follow the road through the village to reach the church. That's where they seem to be taking the other people.
If we move forward too quickly here, we'll get caught by a flamethrower unit. If we stay here, he'll add a bit of fuel to this fire, get bored, and turn around. Now, timing is everything. You may have noticed that every door so far has been lit up like we can access it, but these are the first that we can actually use. First leads into a section with some more ammo and a collectible, and the second leads us further into the village.
These damn murderers.
This next open space is configured very unpleasantly, and it's quite impossible to get many silent kills. So I think my response is, fuck it. not worth the time here, even if I still do plan on getting a few more silent kills further on. Now that they're all dead, we can book it to the boathouse and pick up our final collectible for the mission. Now, if you're keeping score, that's 2 silver Lugers, in addition to the functional one we're carrying as an actual weapon. Violette is currently triple-wielding Lugers, and we also have an assault rifle strapped to our back, but she can't find a single shoe in the entire town. Now, we actually have to open this door, as the set of Nazis outside is too lazy to do it themselves. If we whistle with it closed, they won't come inside. Even then, it still takes a few tries. Leaving his corpse as bait, we're ready to bring in another.
Bist du das?
These are easily the most whistle-resistant Nazis so far. This leaves only a flamethrower soldier outside, and we'll deal with him in a different way. Seems like he finally went inside after we left, but he'll come back soon enough. Decisions. Now, as the Nazis mentioned before, they've dragged all the villagers up to this church and thrown them inside. But with only 5 Nazis, Violette should make short work of them. Well, unfortunately, the sound of gunfire has attracted what's left of the Direlwanger brigade. It's time to see who's tougher, an entire platoon of Nazis, or a single woman in a nightgown. Hint, it ain't the Nazis.
village is burning. The villagers, humiliated, beaten, hanged, burnt, dead. I continue to blunder blindly forward, like an escaped madwoman. Where does my path lead? I fall into nothing.
Now, that's not quite the end. There's still something important you need to see after the first bit of the credits, but this gives me an opportunity to tell you all a little story. Back in February of 2009, I was picking a friend up from New York Comic-Con when a large, central booth caught my eye. I was never one for stealth games, but I was very intrigued by the setting and artistic direction of the game, and resolved myself to playing it just as soon as it came out. Well, if you'll look at my forum join date, you'll notice it's not all that long after. In April of 2009, I joined for the sole purpose of doing a Let's Play of this game, Velvet Assassin. I wasn't aware of the 6-month rule at the time, but certainly discovered while lurking, and set myself up with a Hava to record from my 360 when the time limit was up. Needless to say, that didn't happen, but here we are 3 years later, and it looks like I've finally managed to accomplish my goal. I've had a blast showing you all the utterly ridiculous story of Violet Summers, and I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I have. Now, Replay Studios went under in late 2009, but that doesn't mean that the story of Violet ends there. As you saw, she clearly failed in her assassination attempt on Colonel Com, but that doesn't mean she was killed at the church. Far from it, we'll see in just a few moments what the sequel was clearly meant to be. Velvet Assassin 2, on Wings of Morphine.